Insane that it put me right by a player. So insane. Yo, you friendly? It's been a month and some change since Arc Raiders' release, and it hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. At least not significantly. But as someone that's put a decent amount of time into it, I had definitely hit a wall. And it made me ask myself the question, am I enjoying this? Because yes, at the crux of any form of entertainment, but especially so in games, having fun should be the primary goal. And as I completed more and more runs topside, I started to realize something was missing. The fun was not the same as it was just a month before. But the game nor its developers were at fault for this. I was. My time coming to grips with Arc Raiders' systems, its maps, weapons, skills, enemies, you name it, the sense of awe and wonder that these created all put together made for the most fun I've had with a video game in a significant amount of time. If you've watched my other videos, you know I've said that I'm new to the extraction shooter genre. So that in and of itself presented a steep learning curve that I had to tackle, and every second I spent trying to understand things, every new discovery, every failure that led to a lesson learned was incredibly satisfying. If you ask anyone that's played extraction shooters before, I'm sure they'll tell you Arc Raiders is much more simplistic, and I believe that. A look at inventory management or progression systems of other games in the genre were enough to turn me away in the past. But this game managed to make the core loop of an extraction shooter much more approachable, while still having a depth you don't reach after just a few hours of playtime. This alone was a win for a player like me, but obviously that new car shine wears off eventually. Don't get me wrong, I still haven't seen everything Arc Raiders has to offer, nor am I saying I have nothing left to learn. I do, but as I became more cognizant of the do's and don'ts, as I understood what's valuable and what isn't, and as I progressed further and further, I came to understand what stops so many people from digging deep into these types of games. Arc Raiders is a high-risk, high-reward kind of game. If you go down, you lose everything you had with you in that raid. And if you happen to go on a bad streak of going down and failing to extract, well, your resources dwindle and it becomes harder to recover. This, I found, led to decision paralysis. Do I just use free loadouts for a bit, even though it's not as fun as using higher level weapons? Do I do lower risk raids where I loot and extract quickly, even though that may be less fruitful than looting higher level areas or PvPing? Do I just say screw it and take good gear at the risk of losing it and digging a deeper hole for myself? I got into a vicious cycle of putting the game down due to the fear of losing more than I already had, picking it up again and trying to play it safe so that I could build myself back up, but finding that I wasn't having as much fun doing that. So then I would dig deeper into my stash and do another high value loadout run only for bad luck or poor decision making to result in me losing it all. Rinse and repeat. I started getting into this game because I enjoyed the potential for each session to turn into a good story. But suddenly I wasn't thinking about the stories. I was thinking about how unenjoyable losing everything over and over again was. I was back at square one, asking myself the same questions, until I put the game down for a more extended break over the holidays. As I thought about the game some more, I also came to realize that the sudden, though unsurprising change in player behavior was also having a direct impact on my enjoyment. If you were paying any attention to Arc Raiders during its first week, then you know that it was building a reputation for its friendliness. Players were opting to communicate and collaborate over shooting on sight without saying a word. Of course, there were exceptions, but the experience at large veered towards collaboration. My own experience matched that. In almost every session I played, I would team up with complete strangers to work on quests, take down specific arc, or simply watch each other's backs as we completed our own objectives. It was a breath of fresh air, and I figured it couldn't last. In a matter of weeks, where a talk first, don't shoot kind of approach was overwhelmingly commonplace, not only was I starting to get shot at first, but I was even getting shot at despite trying to communicate. Search already.
Hope you hear me all right. If you spot one of the surveyors, try to stun it before you engage. They're said to be full of rare arc tech, so we might both come out of this ahead.
Insane that it put me right by a player. So insane. Yo, you friendly? After experiences like that one, I would often question my approach. I enjoy trying to team up with people, but should I just be shooting first? I think in that particular scenario, I should have. The moment they started moving towards me without saying a word, I should have just taken a shot. But look, in the grand scheme of things, there are only so many quests to complete, so many types of enemies that require collaboration, and as a player base gets more experienced and better geared, there's naturally less of a need to rely on others. Not to mention that there are systems in place, such as the trials and the expedition, that encourage players to compete against one another, and that is okay. I know there have been calls for PvE-only servers and things of that nature, but as I've continued to think about the game, I don't even know that I would personally enjoy that. I enjoy the tension that the possibility of PvP creates, and how it encourages people to communicate with one another, even if sometimes that leads to getting stabbed in the back. After much thought, I found that the success of communication resulting in collaboration, to me, overshadowed the negative experiences, though I definitely had moments where I didn't feel that way. So, where did that leave me then? And what do I want you to take away from this? Yes, like any other game, you are meant to progress. You are meant to upgrade your workbenches so that you can craft better gear. You're supposed to complete quests, make money, and build up your stash so that you can take higher risks and reap better rewards. And yes, you will fail often. Other players will shoot you first and not ask any questions at all. You will be taken down by Ark, you will make mistakes, and you will lose lots of valuable gear and burn lots of money and materials to build yourself back up. And though it may feel bad to have to build it all up again, I'll tell you what I told myself. It ain't that serious. Maybe your approach needs to change a little bit, or maybe it doesn't need to change at all, because just like you got taken down after trying to talk to a player, you may also get a response and a teammate out of the next player you try to talk to without shooting first. That's the nature of the game. And if you, like me, start getting caught in the weeds of wanting to play but being afraid of losing things, or wanting to collaborate with people but getting shot at, then you're missing out on the good experiences you can have just by playing. You make your own fun. If you enjoy PvP, then get in there in PvP. If you want to take down every Ark in the game, put a loadout together specifically built for that, and try to collaborate with people. If you want to be a loot goblin and make lots of money, go nuts with free loadouts or low value, big inventory builds. These are things I've had to tell myself, because through the whole process of making videos and trying to make the best out of my Ark Raider sessions, I found that I'd lost it. There's still a lot of fun to be had, you just have to let go a little bit.
Somebody's shooting across the way at us. He's taking pop shots.
It's hard to see. Real quick while these people are fighting, but I'll help them out, or try to at least. Hard to see across the way.
I believe in you. Where's defibs?
Got one more. Coming up.
Nice. Here, man, wherever that guy went.
Oh, it's not letting me revive you. Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
Oh, he is dead. He
Damn, that sucks.
Backwards, bro. All you try to see you get to loot it.
If you made it this far, I appreciate you being here. The Cold Snap update is coming to Ark Raider soon, so for those braving the surface, remember to stay warm, and I'll see you topside.